Pombabuo, 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 gaviartego. Pombabuo, pombabuo, batewasayabuo. Pombabuo, 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 mabuo, pombabuo, 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 gaviartego. Big love and respect, all you fantastic dissidents. Allow me to say in the beginning, PayPal, Cash App down below. I've recorded this episode quite a few times, and it is not easy to keep the billows burning in the slick, distant forge of creativity. This project has been cooking for a long time, and I'm going to strike the iron while the fire is hot. Today we're going to delve into the forge of Hephaestus, and we're going to reveal the billows. The social engineers require the epigenetic alloys to harmonize to your DNA. So, I'm going to reveal our epigenetic DNA that is syncopated to the suprachiasmatic nuclei that is the circadian rhythm. I'm going to do a little bit of decoding on some of the headlines that have been running ever since the cicada season popped off this year between, I believe that was Brood 17 and Brood 19, singing a new song, a song that hasn't been heard since 221 years ago. That song was accentuated by the mosquito repellent House Resolution EEE. In my state, that was the name of the House Resolution, where they just put it in the newspaper. Hey, by the way, we're going to drop poison on everything for the next couple days, so try not to come outside. And if you didn't see this headline, too bad, you missed the public notice. Yeah, House Resolution EEE. Sure enough, that triple E is coming up again in the headlines one more time. They're going to be buzzing that note. That's the sound that a mosquito makes. However, they did that operation right in stride with some of our weaves on the cicadas about 6 months back. So, because they tamped the note of all the insects, you can't spray something that only kills mosquitoes. It killed all the bugs. It's been they've been exterminating the insects for quite a long time, so the pollinators have been extremely low. But by doing that, they exalt the music of the cicadas. Cicada, CICADA. The vowels are IAA. IAA, that's a 9, a 1, and a 1. And the consonants are CDD. No, CCD. That's CDC. CDC 911 is encoded in cicada. CDC 911 is encoded in cicada. So that spell tamped the sound of all the insects and exalted the cicada song this year. And when we were talking about the cicada spell, it dawned on us. I did a show with my buddy Kyle from Typical New Herbs. I did a show with Joshua LaBranch, and we were buzzing on the Chicken Little Sky is Falling spell. that is very powerfully orchestrated over the long game. A lot of people, they can only remember what was written on the barn door wall from the past 5 days because we're in the information deluge now. So I just want to keep some consistency going all the way back from that's how long these fires in my forge have been burning. So this is a very, very old project that I'm bringing forward to fruition to offer up to everybody. So yeah, PayPal, Cash App down below. This is a very, very vast spell. The consistency is really rewarding. So when we were weaving on the Sky is Falling, it dawned on me how ISS, I is a 9, S is 19, reduces to a 1, S reduces to a 1. ISS has always encoded 911. So the emergency on the ISS space station is playing right into the Sky is Falling, the Chicken Little apocalypse hullabaloo. Hullabaloo is an anagram for the leader uh, of the Baha'i Church. His name is like Bullaholu. It's so silly. It's so silly. You know, they got the Raelians in there. They got the old Great Disappointment, and they've got the Mormons and the Scientologists playing right into their game. So yeah, the hullabaloo, it's got puppet strings that old Slick's got a real sense for. So I want to talk about the ISS, and then we're going to move into the Forge of Hephaestus and the grand pattern, the greatest pattern of all time. I'm really excited to share some of the consistency and bring forward the order out of what appears to be chaos. You know, yeah, that's kind of where I'm hoping to bring things. And remember, everybody, order is defined as the 9 heavenly realms, and the 9 is my jam. I see the 9 from a mile away. So ISS essentially it's kicked off way back in around April when the Great American Eclipse happened, and let's see if I put my finger around there, right around here. They were banging the drum, spraying the insects to make room for the cicada song to ring extra loud, extra unique. And that was when they started to make a buzz about the ISS operation, where they sent those astronauts up into space for space tourism. And the 2 characters in space are named Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore. Sunita goes by Sunni, and Barry goes by Butch. So it will be important. I'm going to be bringing order out of the correspondence of the Sunni card and the Aeon card. This is in Taurus, excuse me. The Sun card is in Aries, the beginning of the pagan New Year. It's the beginning of the pagan New Year because the moon in between, let's see, February, March, that moon cycle is the beginning of the lunar calendar. So that's why I also have the moon card in correspondence to the sun card. The moon card is in Pisces, the sun card is in Aries. And then in Aries is where Perseus is located, holding the demon star, the Eye of Algol. And right next to Perseus is Auriga, Hephaestus, Erichthonius, the charioteer, the grand blacksmith of the heavens. This card is going to be cornerstone going forward. So in Aries, the Sunni is where Perseus has the butchered head of Medusa and the demon star. So Sunni and Butch are up in the 9/11, and they can't get out, and everybody's going to hold their breath while we all channel our concern. I'm not channeling any concern. I'm dismantling the spell. That's the goal here. But this card is in Aries, and this card is in Taurus. It's the Hierophant card. He is the Orion. And this card, Auriga, is also in Taurus. They are all coterminal to each other. They share a common connection point. So, Sunni Williams is in zero gravity, and her hair is exactly Medusa's hair. It's exactly the Medusa hair. And even her features are beautifully Persian. She has the exact likeness of the Circe. Circe is the Gorgon, Georgian. She's from the east shores of the Black Sea. And Circe is the origin of the word church. And the church at large has had regulatory capture on all the droids. They've been hiding the recipes and benefiting from all the vice. They have all the vices locked down. I think right before the lockdowns, the Vatican lost their tax-exempt privileges on tobacco. And sure enough, that's when people started dropping dead from fentanyl in their vapes. And then they gave us the coronavirus. Corona is 369 ONA. 369 ONA. The ONA, they're not working this system. They're working a whole different system. And it is dark. It is super dark. If you go look them up on Wikipedia, Wikipedia doth not protest sufficiently. Wikipedia is a recruiting manual, if you look up the ONA. So, so her hair is the Medusa hair. Her features are perfectly the Gorgon. She is Circe, which would be technically, probably the mother of Hephaestus, the mother of Vulcan, the mother of Juno. She is serpentine, and so she is the genetic link between reptile and mammal, is the echidna. And she is known for administering neurotoxins, poisons, and cures. You control the poison, then they got to come to you for the cure. So Circe is the origin of the word church, and sure enough, at the Frank Church Committee, he holds aloft the HAG, the heart attack gun. HAG, heart attack gun. He's holding aloft, just like Perseus, holding up the head of Medusa. He's holding up a administering device that conveys neurotoxin. But the word frank is a government issue privilege to send mail with no mark. There's no mark on the mail. They don't have to pay for postage. So the HAG, heart attack gun, delivers a neurotoxin and doesn't leave a mark. The Frank Circe Committee. Another aspect of the Frank Church Committee is the fella behind him, where he's holding up the gun and everybody's like going limp. The fella right behind him has incredible pig-like features. He looks just like a damn pig. It's so fascinating how the theater of the world stage is signaling people in ways that they would never even interpret. But Circe turned men into pigs. So the gun is being held off, and the guy in the background looks like a pig man. He totally looks like Pigman. And so the whole story of, is that Lime Island, or Plum Island, where Lyme disease comes from, and the whole story of Pigman is reinforcing the image of Frank Church holding up and revealing the hag and the Pigman behind him. A quick thing on hag. Hag also is the acronym, the notoricon for harmony, arithmetic, geometry. HAG. Harmony, arithmetic, geometry. I've claimed many times that the Enneagram is the head of Medusa. And I'm also coming to reveal that the Enneagram is the shield of the Aegis. Studying the forge of Hephaestus, I'm quite convinced that I have untangled the Gordian's knot of the cycles of the meteor showers. So that's what I'm going to get into, but let me finish off with the ISS 911 psychological operations of vast magnitude. So the echidna, the echinoderm, is essentially the porcupine. If you look at the Maxwell family crest, it's a mutable X with the porcupine in the middle, and if you look at the tail feathers of the bird, that's a Baphomet upside down, hiding in the subliminal. So the Maxwell family crest has the echinoderm, the echidna, the mutable X, that's the missing link. X is the symbol for change, and it's conveying the Baphomet in the subliminal. So I want to talk about the first time that the word hair-raising experience, the first time that that was conveyed into the zeitgeist of the masses was in Hamlet. There's a line in there where he's describing the hairs on the back of the neck rising just like a porcupine. He uses a different word, a more French, English, old language term for the porcupine, but wouldn't you know, the word he uses is just a couple letters flip from Palpatine. Emperor Palpatine shoots the electricity to get your hairs to rise. So Emperor Palpatine was played by McDermott. McDermott was Satan in Milton's Paradise Lost. The BBC did a long-run broadcast, and he did the exact same voice. McDermott's voice is narrating the personality of Satan in Milton's Paradise Lost, which is the only American epic. That's the only American epic. I never knew that. But the speech that Satan gives in the Temple of Malciber, on the center mound of the Pandemonium, the art depicting that speech is exactly the art of Emperor Palpatine giving a speech in the Senate. And the words that Satan uses in the Temple of Malciber is the exact speech that Palpatine gives in front of the Senate. And so the consistency of all of this is quite wild and profound, but I'm very happy to be the one to point out the consistency of these stories that are what would that be? That would be 7 generations, maybe 10 generations ago, going back from Milton's Paradise Lost, that was unleashed 1666 London fires. Milton's Paradise Lost confirms what their mind was already prepared to see, to really drill home the terror. So I want to say also right now in the headlines in both England and in Australia, there is a stabbing spree. And sure enough, it's in Australia. That's where the echinoderm comes from. It comes from the land down under. That's the primary location of the porcupine. So they're getting everybody's hackles rising to the max. Oh, I kind of went off the trail there. The first time that your hair's being raised was equated to the porcupine. That was in the Shakespeare's play Hamlet. Is the first time that phrase is given to the public to consume. And so the rising of your hairs was equated to the porcupine in Hamlet. That's going to be significant here in a second. So yeah, the kids getting stabbed, all the stabbing sprees everywhere. It's fascinating because they take their guns away. Well, then people can just resort to the knives. A gun runs out of bullets. You can only kill so many people with the gun. But a sword or a knife, it never runs out. It's sustainable. So the kids getting glitched in England. They even said that the dancers tried to fight off the attackers. That's fascinating because of Terpsichore. Terpsichore is the muse of dance. She was up in the 8th spot because she's the card number 17. But this is Terpsichore, the dancer, the muse of dance. And sure enough, the dance instructors at the studio tried to fight back. And then they get knocked down, and then sure enough on the Olympics, they got some kangaroo dancer. They got a kangaroo dancer making a mockery out of dance. Well, there's your hail down to Australia. dancers get killed when the kids are getting glitched. She's from Australia, the land down under. So the hail to the origin source of where the porcupine lives in its native setting. And the killing of those children, the stabbing of the kids, is absolutely hailing to the scene where Anichian Skywalker, that horrible actor, everybody face palms, but that's just the lameness that we sublimate. It goes deeper when you are embarrassed by it, when it's shameful. It goes way deeper. Anichian Skywalker kills those kids in the temple, which is apparently happening all over the place with the stabbing sprees. The kid's accent was impeccably, I think it was even regionally accurate for the actual neighborhood that happened with those kids. So yeah, the only kid who speaks in the Temple of Younglings, I think he has a perfect accent for the region. And it's both in England and in Australia. It's pretty much the same accent. So yeah, the threads are vast and large and profound and sublimated eagerly because it was so embarrassing when Anakin Skywalker was a shitty actor and when the kangaroo breakdancer made a mockery out of the Olympics. Puts a fuel in my fire. No shame in my game. I'll put her to shame any day of the week. Let me at it. Let me at it. Let me at those damn Olympics. I'm good. I'm a street dancer myself. So, Anakin Skywalker, the dancers in Australia, and another aspect here. I'm going to talk about the etiquette droid. May the 4th is the day that Kent State popped off. Sure enough, this year, May the 4th, the Palestine flag was channeling a great amount of vitriol. So, May the 4th be with you is hailing to Kent State. This card has all of the imagery of the Kent State massacre, where the kids are down below, the soldiers are marching up on the hillside, 10 soldiers and Nixon's coming, we're finally on our own. This summer I hear them drumming, 4 dead in Ohio. So this card is R2 C3PO. You can see his abdomen, you can see his breastplate here, and May the 4th be with you is kind of a trauma torch that gets passed through the many generations. And his homie is the moon card, R2D2. I've talked about this quite a few times. R2 is encodes the Torah. This card is in Hawaii. Hawaii in reverse is Yahweh. So, etiquette droid. Sure enough, it's May the 5th, one day after, is the initiation of the Eta Aquarioid meteor showers. And C3PO is an etiquette droid. So the Eta Aquarioid meteor showers pop off right in stride with the kids in the college making a ruckus and hailing again to the trauma of the parents losing their shit because their kids want to protest for what's righteous and they get popped. Just like the Palestine flag getting dragged through the campuses and channeling so much vitriol. I need to say, the word Palestine flag is a parallel. It's essentially an anagram, schizophrenic anagram for placenta phagy. Placenta phagy is the password back to the Garden of Eden, y'all. It's the password back to the Garden of Eden. Give you the 3D vision, you'd be talking animals and diving down to the lost city of Atlantis. All kinds of capabilities and skills that the humans have lost with the omission of, I believe, what completes the gap, the keystone between the left brain and the right brain. There are a great amount of possibilities if we transmit the placenta epigenetically, especially after about 7 generations. The 7th son of the 7th son, all kinds of beautiful things become possible. So make sure you don't inform on your children, ladies, and clean up after yourself thoroughly. All right. We had a fascinating turn of events that was made to appear unlikely. A lot of people take hope in the thought that things are organic, but it's absolutely not. On 8/23, exactly, the holiday of Vulcanalia, uh, Speak No Evil, goes up and shakes hands with Hear No Evil, and there is a blending of essences, a meeting of these alloys. And a lot of people know about Donald Trump is the snake. He told you he's a damn snake. That's an old truth. But a lot of people do not know that RUFO King coding me, RUFO King coding me is a falconer. He's a hawker, an accomplished hawker. And again, everybody remembers Slick Distant has been drumming on the Millenniagram Falcon for quite a long time. I think it was Thomas Falcon Scott. I forget his first name. Yeah, Thomas Falcon Scott is the discoverer who went down to Antarctica and ran through essentially the adventures of Odysseus. If you research Falcon Scott going around Antarctica, he's going through the stations of Odysseus in perfect order. I might redo that program, that project. I had some aspects that I was 50-50 on. I want to be a little more decisive on some of the correspondences with that. And I misspoke a few times, like I do. So, a lot of people some are surprised, some are not surprised to see the falconer meeting up with the snake of all snakes. But what may have slipped through their radar is the headdress of Tutankhamun. The headdress of Tutankhamun has the wadjet and the neck bet come together on that headdress. And this is not nearly as random as people think. And it's not even mysterious. Not to me, it's not. So the headdress of the wadjet and the neck bet, the wadjet, I believe, has dominion over, I'm going to get this 50-50. I think wadjet has dominion over the upper Nile, which is in the south, and neckbet has dominion over the lower Nile, which is in the north. Now, everybody's thinking about Egypt when I say these things. I don't think that's what's up. I think wadjet has dominion over the global territories that are south of the 30-degree parallel. And I think netbet has dominion over the global Egyptian territories, the extended lands of Egypt, which is north of the 30-degree parallel. And that is North America. North America was the extended territories, the land of Egypt. It was not Egypt proper, it's the land of Egypt. So yeah, the neck bet is pretty sure that's the falcon. Yep, the vulture, excuse me, that's the vulture. And the wadjet is the serpent. So I'm going to bring a picture of RFK, King coding me, with his falcon on his arm. I think it might be a hawk, but pay close attention. Look at the shadow of the hawk. It's looking right at his shoulder emblem where he's boasting about his children's health defense team. And sure enough, the falcon's shadow is looking at the children's health defense team like that's its prey, like that's its target. It's so nefarious. It's so nefarious to the subliminal realm. Also, so on the analemma, a great many things are revealed. So that happened on 8/23. 8/23 is the 143rd prime. 143 is ADL. Sure enough, we are moving into, so that is Vulcanalia. The next holiday in the Fasti calendar was Vulcanalia. Sounds a lot like neckbet to me. Vulcanalia is a 3-day holiday that crosses over the analemma. We are at Axe. This is where the vulture attacks Prometheus. And as we descend across the X on this analemma, Prometheus is in Aries because he is Andromeda, chained up as a sacrificial offering on the cliff for bringing fire to man. He stole fire from Vulcan. He transgressed. He crossed the line with the volcano god. So he is the hostage of the zodiac, is Andromeda, and also Perseus. Yeah, also Perseus. And so he is on the rising expression of the solar cycle, and it is on the descent that Vulcanalia comes and attacks the hostage on the heavenly realms. On the rise, this is 415 was the day that Lincoln launched the ships. It's the day that Lincoln got his head blown off. It's the day that the Titanic sank. There's a great many terrible, horrible trauma rituals driven into our ancestors' experience. It's Passover. This is tax day. It's the day that you're at X, and you pay the tax right here. And then when we descend on 827, a great many things are commemorated by this neck, this throat, this choke point. In this neck of the woods, a great many fascinating synchromythic patterns have been drilled into the ancestors. I think we're kind of be seeing, it's not John the Baptist's day, but it is the date that his head was cut off, the day of the removal of the head. So as soon as we break across the X of the analemma, we tap into one of the very most important meteor shower cycles that is just absolutely so revealing to me. On September 1st is the beginning of the Aurigid meteor showers. Meteor showers in Auriga are going to be syncopating to all of the long game head lines that has everybody sympathetically entangled with Sunni up at the space station, as she is depicting the Medusa hair and the hair-raising experience. Well, sure enough, Speak No Evil and Hear No Evil have joined forces because See No Evil has been removed off the stage. It's just a doppelganger. Ever since 722, when the moon crossed over Pluto, See No Evil is long gone. And who is Speak No Evil and Hear No Evil? Who are they going to go up against? They're going to go up against Kamala Harris. Ooh, it's a hair-raising experience. Kamala Harris has been the priestess card all along. This is going to be difficult to bring forward. She is the hair-raising experience. In the original layer of presentational immediacy, she's the giver with the shadow of pride. She is this card. She is camel toe. She's the camel toe Harris. And in the first layer of the Enneagram, she is the giver monster. There's a great deal to do with the Zarathustrians. They are alive and well, and they're playing the long game. Zoroastrian is encoding those who are affluent with the keeping of the camels. They are very good at maintaining, training, and benefiting from the camels, as the camels controlled the spice trade, the spice routes. Spices could be considered a tiny season, but I'm not going to get into the tiny season. This is the corresponding card, also number 2. Card number 2, card number 20. And in the prime stations, we're not dealing with the giver with the shadow of pride. We're going up and we're moving into the perfectionist reformer with the shadow of wrath. So these two cards are mythologically embedded with each other. They're not in the same place of the Enneagram, but they are embedded with each other because Hephaestus trapped his mother Hera in a golden throne and grilled her as to his origin point, where he comes from. On the zodiac, Hera is in Capricorn down here. Auriga is way up here. That's a 9-month birth cycle. It's 9 months apart. And so he is the child of Hera, and he goes on a couple falls to get back to um, Olympus and drill his mother on his origin point. How dare you! How dare you! So, the hair-raising experience of going after Hera, the hag, and her real dark laugh is just a cosmodrama of the Hellenes. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I bitch a lot about blaming religious orders, but religious orders are vulnerable because they're not for their profit. They're not for their profit. They have to get permission to be not for their profit. They're totally self-castrating. The real controllers in this world, they're not Christians, they're not Jews, they're not Muslims. None of those fools are venerating the lost pillar of the quadrivium. None of them. They do not acknowledge the lost pillar of the quadrivium. They have castrated themselves from the highest order there is. It is the Hellenes that are invading. This is a Hellean invasion. You can hear my words, can't you? It's a silent H. Every time you said it's the aliens, you're giving louche to the Greeks, the fraternal orders. Lambda, lambda, lambda. Can I slam you, slam you, slam you? It's the Hellenes all along, y'all. And they're not a religious order because they don't not for profit themselves. They keep it in the family quite handedly. So I just want to make sure that while I'm talking about the Hebrews venerating the volcano god, that I'm not talking about the Hebrews you were thinking of. I'm talking about the Greeks, the fraternal orders. So, they're masters of art, all of the arts. They have all the technique of the arts locked down. And so the church I'm talking about is the church of the loyalists, the church of the Ignatius Loyalists, and that is Universities. The Universities are the churches that you never saw coming, and they are quite for profit. They are considerably for profit. They are the think tanks of think tanks. So the loyalists of all the collegiate, scholastic, academic, captured industries, they are really the problem. They're really what the problem is. The Church of Science. All right, I got to stay on topic. So September 1st is the beginning of the Aurigid meteor showers. A fascinating thing, we're going to say September, but we're thinking of the 9th month. But we called it the 7th. A lot of people talk about this. It's no big deal. If you go from the pagan New Year, September is number 7. So we got, starting in Aries, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, September. And it's on the 1st of September that the Aurigid meteor showers kick off. Well, guess what? 71, 7-1, September 1st. 71 is the 20th prime number. And that is the beginning of the Aurigid meteor showers. This is bringing my consciousness into the forge of Hephaestus, and I am reading the pattern of his billows. I'm going to read through the pattern of the billows of Hephaestus for everybody, and you're going to notice some very crucial dates. And a lot of the Sophianic seed of retro reflection is going to drag people into the past, but folks, I'm giving this to you for the future. I want you to put this into your forge and use this for your intentions in the future, and to fortify your shield of Aegis, to deflect the psychological operations that they've been doing forever. But don't be looking backwards. You better be looking forwards with what I'm giving you. Use this for work. Do not get caught in nostalgia. So, I'm going to go back to May when the cicada spell was popping off. And I'm going to read through the meteor cycles that happen on a 3-day window, sometimes longer. And every meteor shower is a different intensity. However, I want you to understand the color code of what I've put forward, as this is untangling the Gordian's knot of the Forge of Hephaestus. We are reading the billows. The billows have different angles and intensities as you use this implement. And so what's fascinating is that's exactly what happens When we are in time, I'm using the circular dots to indicate the time of where we are in the season. You can think of the morning sun as a planchette, and it's going to be focused on a certain constellation on the zodiac every morning. So that's where you are in time. That planchette of the 30 degrees of the solar arc, and so that planchette is marking where you are in time. Those are the circular dots here. The squares on the inside of this image, those are where the meteor showers, which are the billows of Hephaestus. Imagine a volcano. What would they describe a meteor shower as? It's like a volcano, but upside down from above, erupting. And so the billows of Hephaestus are expressing themselves on these square stations in the zodiac, in the heavens, in the skies at night. So the circles are the 30-degree planchette of the sun, telling you where you are in the morning in time. The squares are for the evening, where the theatrical lightings team is going to work. And these lights, these repetitions of these patterns, are embedded into your suprachiasmatic nuclei, SCN. This is the original science. This is the highest science of reading the signs. And you're only going to get it from Slick Dissident, ladies and gentlemen. PayPal, Cash App, PayPal, Cash App. 5-5, May the 5th, is the initiation of where I'm starting the cycle just for this presentation. 5-5 is a magical square of Mars, 5 by 5. And sure enough, on May the 5th, right after the Kent State event, on the same day that the placenta phagy flag college campus kids made a treaty to stop making a ruckus, is when the Aquarid meteor showers kick off. The Eta Aquarid meteor showers, I'm pretty sure. And that is the Etiquette droid. Remember, the Etiquette droid is where May the 4th be with you, and the Kent State massacres were taking place. So the Eta Aquarid meteor showers are in the red here. I'm just going to go through it pretty much rainbow with a rainbow sequence. So 5-5, you get meteor showers in the Eta Aquarid location that at the evening, at night. And they last for multiple days with different intensities. I think this year we had Brazil's Rio Grande do Sul flooded and killed hundreds of people. Hundreds of people were missing. And that's just fascinating because Aquarius is the water pitcher. He's pouring out the water. So there's a flood in the Rio Grande do Sul in Brazil. The college protests, and Xi Jinping goes to France on that day. I'm not going to do history for all these events. That's something for you to edify yourself in your forge. Next comes June 27th is the Boötid meteor showers. So orange. We're going from red to orange. June 27th, the Boötid meteor showers pop off. In Libra, I want to give thanks to my buddy PK, set me straight. I had Boötes correspondent to Virgo because it is a minor deacon of Virgo, but on Stellarium, it's clearly in Libra. So thank you for correcting me, my man. That was very edifying. July 28th, going into yellow, and we will have the other Aquarid meteor showers popping off. The South Delta Aquarid meteor showers. Next comes August 12th. We're in the green, and we have meteor showers in the Perseid meteor showers happen at the Lion's Gate. So there's fascinating correspondence between the time of Leo and the heavenly conflagration that will be in Aries. I think we could say that this has a great deal with having dominion over these correspondences. This is being educated. This is being deeply educated. And I think this is the leopard print that a hero wears as a mantle to show that he has educat showing over the fourth lost pillar of the quadrivium. Next comes September 1st. which we're about to be dealing with over the next 3 days. And sure enough, it's over in Taurus, is where the Aurigid meteor showers of Hephaestus, the forge, right next to the hag, the Algol star. So, yeah, it's fascinating to me how the top of the prime station Enneagram is all giving the top value to all things Taurus and Aries here. Really fascinates me how these patterns just edify as I gain more and more affluence. So after the Aurigid meteor showers pop off in Taurus, the next one is going to be on October 8th, and that's going to be the Draconid meteor showers, which is in Capricorn. I should actually be pointing at it down here in space. So let's see. Yeah, because when I speak of a date progressively, we're essentially flowing this way across the heavens. But then the conflagration at night will be popping off kind of like whack-a-mole. This is very much like whack-a-mole because the meteor showers have a bit of a randomness to them. And I'm dialing in. I'm totally dialing in. So yeah, during October 8th, this is Oct 8. This has a strong 88 embedded into it, even though it's the 10th month. So yeah, Oct 8 is when the Draconid meteor showers pop off. Here's Draco right here. Sure enough, Hercules is right here. Draco is here. Here's Serpens. Didn't Hercules, in his first days of life, didn't he have 2 snakes attack him? Well, if Hercules, the constellation, reaches out, he's going to grab Draco with one hand. He reaches out with the other hand. He's going to grab Serpens kaput. It's all cosmodramas, y'all. It always has been. That's why it's still alive and well. October 21st is the Orionid meteor shower. So, oh, did I get that one? October 21st. I might have missed that one. I think I missed meteor shower. Yeah, there should be another. We'll just call this one purple. There's another, October 21st is another meteor shower. And I'm pretty sure there was a bunch of conflagration in Israel last year on October 21st. Between October 10th and October 21st, Israel was losing their shit. So yeah, we have the Orionid meteor shower. So the call for heroes, please somebody resolve the violence. So yeah, I guess I need a purple circle here and a purple square again up in Orion, which is in Taurus. And then, ladies and gentlemen, November 5th. Remember the 5th of November is a meteor shower in the South Taurid meteor showers. Boom, X marks the spot. We're in Scorpio. And the South Taurid meteor showers kick off in Scorpio. I believe this is the correspondence of Hercules flooding the stables to cleanse the stables, because we are temporally, we are in Hercules with that time of the year. However, it is over in Taurus is where there is a conflagration happening, a deluge. And sure enough, in Taurus, right under the feet of Orion, is the river of the Uranus River. And so I'm just going to thread this very quickly. So for us to be right next to the hero in October, we have October 8th, a Draconid. We have October 21st. We have the Orion. November 5th, we have the South Taurid. November 12th, we have the North Taurid. There's so much energy as we are going through Scorpio. There are a great many stings. A lot of stings are happening during Scorpio. It's probably the most dense time of year for meteor showers, because then on November 17th is the Leonid meteor showers, and then on November 21st is the Monosaurus meteor showers. So in the season of Scorpio is a rapid flash of corresponding meteor showers up here in Taurus. This axial relationship, this is the sagittal ridge of the brain. Sagittarius. I point it at the bull. I point it between the bull and the twins. This is the north node, Odin throne. This is the south node, Odin house. So the correspondence between the lunar standstills in the south and the lunar standstills from the north node is also reinforced by the Bellows of Hephaestus, as there are a great concentration of conflagrations that have always happened in November. So even a bunch of fools are talking about, why is Judas Iscariot the betrayal, who is repeating from the Old Testament, that there was another Judas who is betraying Moses? It's because of they're missing the fourth pillar of the quadrivium, y'all. It's because in Scorpio is when there is a high concentration of, while we're in this time period, there's a very high concentration of meteor showers happening up in Taurus. So the hero is getting stung as the Scorpio is on the rise on the time of the morning signs and symbols. All right. I think I said all the things I wanted to say and then some. I'm going to bring a great amount of graphics on this one. I guess one more thing I wanted to mention is I want everybody to take note of the minor deacons. So during the Chump event, we were at the Argo Navis. We were in July. This is Jason. Jason. And the Argo Navis is right here where the Chumpster event took place. So we're going through a great many ordeals and labors as we enter into the underworld and the sun gets low. The minor deacons are Argo Navis, Hydra, that is the one of the primary snakes in the heavens. Crator, Corvus, this is a primary bird of prey, a scavenger who picks up the scraps. Takes up the scraps, just like Speak No Evil had to swallow his pride and support the Hydra, the snake of all snakes. Hydra is a schizophrenic anagram for gram, for ciphers at large. All literacy is a Hydra, because when you write in Curse of Eve, you are leaving a snake in the trail when you imprint your inspired thought onto the realm. So Corvus is the crow, corresponds with the name of a certain character who commissioned this deck, who was paid to commission this deck, just like Chump said, no, she paid me to fuck her. Coma, Berenices, Centaurus, Boötes, crucial, this is the poets, this is the inspired great void, where a certain individual has to evacuate themselves to bring out the manias, the frenzies, and the desires. Manias, frenzies, and desires, and the erotes, they're subtly different. They're not exactly the same. If I read a beautiful poem to you, I'm hoping that your erotes come forward. Your desires are stimulated. But if I read a dark poem from some of the darker times of my life, I would be drawing on your manias and your frenzies. And sometimes, some people's poetry is so bad it's strictly manias. It has no logos at all. There's a very subtle difference culturally. And I should say the cherubs. Erotes were Greek when the Greeks had appropriate timing for the endocrine system of a natural being to come into their own chemistry set. The erotes were mature when their hormones, the mother of all the muses, the hormones, when they were completely naturally syncopated. Rome comes along and starts snipping dicks and stealing placentas, and that's when they become cherubs. They become permanently infantilized. Up in the Norse cosmology, they are the frenzies, because you got to teach the teenagers to hunt, and you got to teach them to honor the kill. You don't just kill anything and leave behind. You use it all, and you say the correct, respectful prayer with the communing with nature to bring that food back to share with everybody. So there is a difference between these these desires as they do harmonize to the 9 cornerstones of the endocrine system, the Enneagram system. All right. I'm going to call it on that, y'all. That was one hell of a weave. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I do have a great more elucidation to do regarding the Forge of Hephaestus, but I want everybody to, take your own notes, get your own systems, get familiar with these cycles, these signs, and these symbols, because they are the superchiasmatic science of all the signs of all time. And there is opportunity here that I am offering to you to gain familiarity and affluence with these inevitable patterns. And this will give you much more hands-on ability to influence your fate. The 3 moideræ, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos, are the Holy Trinity that Zeus used to bow down to. The East and the West, they're just fighting over how you're going to bow. Chance, not my buddy Chance, general chance, is willy-nilly free association. This is what the conspiracy deniers are into. They're all about chance, free association. Oh, it is what you think it is. It's anything that you project onto it. They're really into chance, and that is the weakest. Fate is active imagination, and in not letting these archetypes control you, but rather you recognizing the archetypes in all of their most ancient formats. There are many layers of echo to every archetype, and there's an opportunity to gain more and more familiarity with them, much like I've done with Vulcan. I realized that he was Hephaestus originally, then he became Vulcan, then he became Malciber, then he became Erichthonius, then he became Auriga, the charioteer. I'm inclined to say that not only is Vulcan Diogenes of Megara, I think Vulcan was also tapped into by Rodrigo Borgia, because Rodrigo is an anagram for Auriga. All right, yeah. Get your augury reading on, y'all. It's very empowering. I highly recommend it. Oh, and I should mention, so I said chance is willy-nilly free association. Fate is active imagination. This is where you do tarot readings, where you do rune readings, where you do the isopsophy of your name, where you do the isopsophy for your child's name to give your child's fate benefit. You know, the name of a person. So many times I tell people about their own name, and it blows their mind because the Sophianic seed of retroflexion is too much to handle, and it takes them weeks to process what I conveyed to them about their own name. Destiny is out of your hands. This is where you try to avoid a thing, you go out of your way to do what's right, and you end up doing it wrong anyways, no matter what. That's way out of our hands. Destiny is something else. These 3 aspects are very correspondent to Clotho, chance, Lachesis, the weaver, and Atropos, destiny. All right, y'all. Cash App, PayPal, it's right there, right down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this weave. That was an hour-long weave, man. I tell you what. And I had to do it and throw it away when I didn't do it well enough. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I look forward to our next little dance party here on the Slick Distant Shared Artistic Expression. Much love and respect.